All right, welcome to the long run. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christine.
What are we doing today?
We're going to be doing a fun little challenge kind of live stream. We're going to ask you a question. We're going to tell you our answers, and we're going to see what your answers are going to be. But first, I do want to say, if you've been following us and you know that Joel was given a $3,000 voucher to go on a vacation of his choice, and you saw what would you pick, you might think that's what we were talking about today, but no, it's not. Instead, what we're going to be talking about is, well, let's just set the stage. Imagine, if you will, that you are on a deserted island and you had to choose only 10 foods that you're able to have unlimited amount of for the rest of your life, but that is the only 10 you get. What would you choose? So we would love it if you will tell us down in the chat or the comments what your 10 things will be. We will tell you ours, and we'll tell you kind of like, why did we pick those 10? And we can't wait to hear your options, because maybe you're going to come up with some things that we're like, I didn't even think of that. Or that would be even better than what we chose. Now, I will tell you that human nature might tell you that you want to pick pizza and chocolate. But we are talking about the rest of your life. So you might want to pick something with a little more nutritional value, even though pizza and chocolate kind of sounds like the best of both worlds, right? So we don't have pizza and chocolate on our list. All right. All right. So I don't know. Can we see? Let's see that we have anybody watching at the moment. But if you watch later during the replay, be sure to tell us your answers and what you think. Okay.
All right.
All right. So our first choice would be eggs. Eggs are nutritional. They also would give you a lot of options of ways to make it. Plus, they can be used in other things to make other things. So eggs are a really good powerhouse food to choose. And so eggs would be one. Want to take one?
Yeah, next would be whole chickens.
Yep.
Because, I mean, you can eat a whole chicken and use it again the next day for something else. So
yeah, you can stretch it. Also, you can keep the bones and save that up and make chicken broth that you can use in some other recipes and stuff. So whole chickens can go really far. When we were talking about this, Joel said, why didn't I just say I wanted live chickens that could lay eggs, and like then you could use them for the whole chickens? And I was like,
then you have another choice.
Okay, that would have been smart.
You could probably add pizza or chocolate to that if you did that.
That would have been smart. I did not think of that. So you should have made the list. Haha. All right. Third is red meat. However, either ground beef or as steaks or something like that. Any type of red meat item that you could think of. And that is because with as limited amount of foods as you're going to get, red meat would be a good way to make sure that you are getting in some iron and other nutrients that chicken and eggs and stuff might be lacking. So yeah, chose red meat. Okay.
Yep.
Want to do the next one?
Next one is flour, self-rising flour.
Yeah, you can do a lot with flour, not only in making breads or biscuits or something like that, but also you might use it in other ingredients, in other recipes, to maybe like thinking up something or something. There's a lot of things that you could use the flour for. The next one would be celery, because you do need some kind of vegetables, right?
Sure.
And guess what you can use celery in?
Everything.
Everything. He loves celery. That would be one of his big choices. Soups and stuff like that. And so you could add in that chicken and the broth that you made with the chicken and the celery and our next one on the list, which is carrots.
Mhm.
And you can make soups and stuff, or broths. So celery and carrots, which would be 5 and 6.
Yep.
Right.
Next one, number 7 will be salt.
Why would you choose salt?
I guess because you want the food to taste good. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's also important. Now, while what we tend to, kind of demonize salt, it's because a lot of times when we're eating processed foods or eating out and things like that, we may be getting a lot of salt there. So we're getting too much salt in our diets. But if we're stranded on an island and we don't have any processed foods or places to eat, we're not getting salt from anywhere unless we put salt in our food. And you do need a little bit in your life to actually survive. So we would say you need a little salt in your diet.
Yep.
So that's why we chose salt.
Yep.
All right. The next one is heavy cream. Now, maybe I should have switched it around. But anyway, we'll just say heavy cream because what I thought was with the self-rising flour, I've seen recipes for biscuits where you just need 3 ingredients, and one of those ingredients is heavy cream. The other one is salt. So you can make biscuits with just those 3 ingredients, and then you'd be getting something to go with those foods. So, like with the eggs and the chicken and stuff like that, at least you could have some biscuits or something. Yep. So yeah, heavy cream for that reason. And also for the next reason, which is
coffee.
Because you need something fun, right? You need something that just tastes good when you drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, and you could put a little heavy cream in your coffee. If you're like me, that would be enough. Just a little heavy cream to help. And our last one is butter. And the reason why we chose butter is because you need something to cook your biscuits and things like that. You need some kind of oil or butter to actually cook biscuits and red meat and stuff like that. So we chose butter because we felt like that would be a full options as far as your meals. You could use it in your skillets. You could use it in, if you wanted to put some on the biscuits, or you could even put some in your coffee. A lot of people put biscuits in their coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people put butter in their coffee to help increase the fat content, and you will need a little fat in your diet if you're trying to survive off only 10 foods. So this is not an exhaustive list of things that are good and nutritional value. And there were definitely, oh my gosh, it was so hard coming up with this list because I was like, oh, I want to put spinach on there because spinach has magnesium. And the magnesium is a good nutrient that is powerful for you. So I was like, oh, I need spinach on that list. And then I couldn't figure out how to fit it into the 10. So what was another one? Oh, chocolate. I really didn't want to put chocolate on there or sugar. Not necessarily table sugar, but some kind of sugar, some kind of sweetness. Like I said, not because I need it in my coffee, but just because you could make a bread or something like that. Oh, and I'll tell you another thing that I don't have on that list that I wanted to put on the list was fruit. I wanted to put bananas because I eat a banana every day. I also wanted to be able to put pineapples because if you were living on an island, pineapple would be so good.
Maybe you're living on an island where there's a pineapple tree.
Yeah, but this is the only 10 foods you're allowed. So the assumption is they're not there. But if they were there, that would be good. But I think that little fruit would be good to have,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so tell us, we'll give you a couple of minutes if you're here watching, if you would like to jump in the chat and tell us what your 10 things are, or at least a couple of them, or if there's one that you think we're way off base, that's not a good idea. You can do that. If you're watching later, do that in the replay. We would love to hear that. And like I said, we'll give you a second to how they used to say on Saturday Night Live. Remember?
Yeah, I don't know.
Talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. To us, there is a frugal takeaway from this. We weren't like just like, oh, this will be a silly thing to come up with to talk about. There is actually going to be a frugal takeaway from it. So we hope that you'll at least jump in and give us some, especially after you figure out what this frugal takeaway is. You might be like, oh. Like we said in the beginning, Joel was given a voucher he celebrated his 10th anniversary at Chick-fil-A, and his boss gave him a voucher for a vacation of his choice. And so we are trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. So we thought some people might have thought that's what we were going to be talking about today, was just like, oh, what vacation would you take? If you want to tell us where you would go, we would love to hear that. We're kind of in the point of wanting to be several vacations so that we still have money to go see our little Minnie, which is our little granddaughter that was born this month. So a little bit of that. So we don't want to spend it all on one vacation. So all right, so let's tell them what the takeaway is.
Okay. So our takeaway is that to kind of challenge yourself to reframe how you grocery shop. Now, we're not saying that you have to buy groceries as if you're stranded on a deserted island, but that we need to reframe the way we think about what's necessary to us. A lot of times we have a habit of saying, well, I need this, I need that, I need these things. We've got to have that, or we've got to have this. But we don't really need certain things. We don't really have to have everything we say we do. Sometimes we just want it. And we just, we say we have to have it, and it's really just a want that we really want. And so it's kind of given the idea to reframe your priorities to what you really need as what you buy when you go into the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay if you choose to use the words "I want to have," but it's where the problem comes in is where we have to have, but we don't really have to have it just to survive. It's really just a want, and we've kind of like in our society messed up our little ideas of what really is a want or a need. Like we're just like, oh, I have to have that. And what would be really good is for it to make us to hesitate on thinking we have to have all the things that we buy, and maybe even push us toward the idea of being really grateful that we can afford things that technically are just wants. And so if you want it, it's still okay to get it. It's just the reframing of the way that we think about it, and it helps bring us back to gratitude.
That's right. That's right. So again, feel free to share with us. If you're in the chat, feel free to share with us now what you would reframe, what you would think about in those your list of 10 down in the comments below. If you're watching on the replay, do that for us as well. Put those in the comments below. We'd love to hear those things as well. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it, man. This is a really short live stream today. If you blink, you missed it. But anyway, that's going to do it today. For the long run.
I know. What? We can add just a little to it by saying I did a community post earlier today, and hopefully it's showing up as a poll. I see people have answered, but when I looked at one of Joel's personal accounts, it didn't look like the questions were there. But it's a community poll asking what you would like to see this month when I'm doing the meal plan. Would you rather see like a pantry, refrigerator, freezer inventory,
Yep.
or would you rather see like me going through the whole meal plan, planning the meals itself?
Mm-hmm.
So whichever one you would like, or if you have a different idea, I'm open to it. Just let us know with that poll. I know that like I've had a couple of comments too, so I feel like the comments are working on it. So it's right there on my community page. Just click over there and give us a quick answer on that.
All right. Thanks for joining us today. That's going to do it today for the Long Run with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
Don't forget the long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.